In this 200 member exclusive masterclass, I'm going to be sharing with you my introverted web design outreach process that's allowed me to grow my agency from 0 to over 20k per month in less than 2 years, and that's without making a single cold call. So you can probably tell from how I talk, I'm not really a guy that likes to talk, and because of this, I actually think that this has helped me out creating a anti-cold call outreach approach, which is perfect for introverts like you and me. Obviously, hates dialing the phone and getting told to go away by prospects who are picking up the phone. Because let's face it, like cold calling, it probably is the worst form of contact in a business. You are interrupting their day. You have to go through picking up the phone hundreds of times before you even get someone that's interested. It's a numbers game. When you get someone pick up the phone, it's often the gatekeeper, and then you get told to shove off. And actually generating really decent phone skills, like it takes months and hours of conversations in order to harness that. Like, you hate it, I hate it, which I do believe is great, because what I'm going to be sharing with you today in this webinar is a completely different method to how you can go about landing clients on repeat without ever needing to pick up the phone at all. For those of you that do stick around, stick around to the end. I'm actually going to give away my exact outreach system for free today, so at least you can walk away, from this video with something tangible, and you should be able to, go away and land a client as early as tomorrow. That's if you take what I'm about to show you and run with it though. But first of all, why do you trust me? Well, my name's Tristan. If you didn't know already, I currently make more than 20k per month every month, like clockwork, within my agency, and honestly, it's like a dream come true. I at one point didn't have a single pound or dime to my name, at least that's what it felt like. And that was, only 3 years ago. Now, just a quick earnings disclaimer. Okay, you're not going to make $1 million from the start. All right, this just it's not possible. And more seriously, you're not going to be making that £496 a day from the start either. Just not yet, but it will come. All right, for me at first, I just wanted to replace income to be able to pay bills. All right, and now I currently have over 50 clients. All right, so imagine if you just had two. Like, how much of a difference would that make to your life? So who is this for? It's for complete beginners, complete newbies. Initially, you'll have an idea of how to design a website, but if you don't, it's not the end of the world. But you're at the start of your business, and it's also for someone that has no meetings booked. You cannot book a call with a customer to save your life. It's for the unsalesman, okay, who can't sell water in the desert. All right, and this was me. Like, I don't have a sales-based background, so if that's you, you're going to find this useful. And also the undesigner, okay, someone that has an idea of how to design, but the skills could do with polishing. Now, if you stay until the end, I'm giving you away a couple of things that are super valuable. Now, you're going to get my complete irresistible Loom outreach structure. Okay, now I valued this at £250, but actually I think it's worth more than that. I've been very generous with this valuation. And you're also going to get a sneak peek in on how to build rapport on a sales call. And this has come directly from my Selling Without Selling framework. Now, the framework itself is way more than £250 worth of value, but I think what I'm giving you, the little snippet that you're going to get if you stay in towards the end, is around £250 in value. All right, so my weird web design strategy that's currently making me £496 per day, and you're going to be able to ethically knock it off in less than 3 months. Okay, so you can start reaching that £496 per day as well. Okay, imagine what that would do for you. All right, so let me just introduce myself. My name is Tristan Parker. I am the owner of a web and SEO agency called Parker Digital, and I'm also the mentor at Agency Alchemist. And when I'm not doing that, I'm a dad, I'm the occasional home DIYer, just like anyone else. I love Netflix, and I'm also a huge F1 enthusiast. Now, you'll see a picture of me here over on the left. This was me when I was graduating in 2012, right? And I took that, normal route of getting a degree and going to get a job. I was actually the first one in my family to ever go to university, which it felt like a great achievement at the time. Now, what people didn't know is that I hated that course. I hated what I was doing, but I'm not a quitter, and so I stuck it out. I'd spent around 8 years since getting my degree in various jobs, before I then decided to start my own web design business. Right. And actually, for me, it came off the back of being made redundant in 2 consecutive jobs, which, if you don't know what that means, it meant that the role that I was in was no longer needed. So I was let go. Right. And for this to happen once is a pretty scary thing. But, when it happens twice, I'm just like, God damn, like, give me a break. It's very scary when you have bills and you have responsibilities as well. Right. So over the last few years, I've actually spent a pretty good amount of time whipping up a decent 6-figure business, and it keeps on climbing. Okay, I've worked with well over 100 businesses, including multi-million-pound design agencies, marketing companies. I even worked as a contractor for a premium reseller of Apple, which was cool because, I got to work closely with some of the guys at Apple and really get a feel for that organization and the branding and the systems and things like that. However, it wasn't all a walk in the park. Like, when I first stepped into this, when I first started my business, I didn't have the foggiest idea about bagging clients or running a business at all. And it took me forever to start seeing money. So trust me, if you're struggling, let me tell you, I can relate. Okay, I've been where you are right now. Right, so let me be clear. I'm not the type of person that buys flashy things. I don't drive a Lambo. I actually have a very, very modest lifestyle. Okay, what my business has allowed for me is to open up a lot of opportunities which I never used to have, for both myself and for my family, which employment, has capped. Okay, I can work when I want. I can travel when I want. I don't have a boss to answer to. I honestly couldn't imagine going back to a 9-to-5 now. So, my business, it's allowed me to earn up to 4 times more than my previous salary, and I can work half the time, and I'm around for my kids, which is super important to me. If you are a parent and that is important to you, having your own business that runs as well as mine is at the moment, it's life-changing. Okay, I've been able to get our first house. We've got our first renovation project. I'm able to travel. Here we are. There's a picture of us at the F1. As I said, I'm a huge F1 fan. So who I used to be, all right, this is a fairly old picture, but I consider myself, I used to be an old, lost web designer. I was too damn scared to pick up the phone. And now I'm a huge introvert. I hated the thought of even talking to anyone on the phone. And I was pretty confused about how to even make money and pay my bills. Like, it was a pretty daunting, horrible position to be in. Okay, I knew my web design skills were top notch, so I should, in hindsight, have actually landed loads of clients. Okay, that was my thought process. But actually, in reflection, it was my fear of selling and sounding stupid that tend to keep me from stopping me from moving forward. I just couldn't get past this bloody monster of client acquisition and sales. And actually, I realized that cold calling, it wasn't the only way to find people that needed a website. Plus, I also didn't need any sales experience to be able to sell, which is awesome for someone that has no sales experience at all, like me. I didn't need it. I thought that I was going to be screwed because I couldn't sell like people that have had a sales-based role. And it was just one of the limited beliefs, but actually that wasn't the case. So I actually started a uniquely targeted personal outreach method using video and email. And because I'm an introvert, that is what I was comfortable with doing at the time, and it worked. Okay, so I'm a huge believer in doing things that you're comfortable with doing. Obviously, there's an element of growth and stepping outside of your comfort zone in that, but I would never say that you should do it at the detriment of not making any progress at all. So find what you're comfortable with and grow slowly. It wasn't plain sailing though. All right, I felt like I was failing with outreach. I was getting rejected. I'd regularly battle with rejection and fear on sales calls that I'd already secured. I didn't like the service I was building, revenue within. I needed to be able to book meetings so I could practice selling. And, it takes a long time for people to start coming to you when you're new. All right, so there's loads of problems I was facing. There's just a handful of them, but there's loads more. I now have an enjoyable, stable business that makes me 10K to 20K every month. I barely need to do any outreach at all these days, which is fantastic. Being able, the actual selling the websites part of my business has become more of the bonus and not the staple. Okay, I have monthly reoccurring revenue, which has created a large amount of stability in my business. I'm always able to improve on sales, so I have the opportunity to improve my sales skills. And I work around 4 to 5 hours a day. All right, I'm not working 9 till 5. So let me just move me out the way there, and you can see like this is a screenshot from my first year of earning £114,000 in revenue, and this was during 2022. So that was a huge achievement. Plus, I now believe in myself. And I believe in the service that I offer, which is really important. Okay, I see myself as a problem solver for businesses. I'm not just a web designer. Okay, I have financial freedom. I no longer feel inadequate on sales calls, and my business is getting year-on-year growth. So if you've been struggling, it's probably because of one of these reasons. One, sales. You don't have any sales, or you feel like you're bad at sales. You have no strategy. You don't know what you're doing within your business. You don't know how to acquire customers. You're procrastinating. Maybe you're wasting time doing the things that don't matter, like building a portfolio or designing your logo or doing something completely irrelevant. Maybe you're underpricing, okay, and that probably comes from not believing in what it is that you're offering or understanding your own value. Maybe you have rejection fear, okay. I had this. I don't like being told no, so I would avoid conversations. I would avoid sales because I didn't want to be told no. And maybe you're not marketing either. Your marketing is important. If you don't market yourself in any way whatsoever, people are never going to discover you. If you're struggling right now, it's one of these reasons, if not more than one of them. So here's just an example of 2 people currently that I've helped who are absolutely crushing it. We've got Joe and we've got Chris. So Joe is actually a landing page and conversion optimization agency owner. He actually started off as a web designer, and with the tools and the resources and the mentorship, he's actually developed his offering into something that's way more attractive. And Joe is traveling, okay? He has enough revenue and he has enough freedom to travel while working. And I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, and he was traveling in Thailand and living that laptop lifestyle, which is awesome. And then Chris is a web design and SEO solo agency owner. Chris used to be in a job that he didn't like, and he had an interest in web design. Okay, he now earns more than he did when he was employed. He works less and he's happy. Right? And so I'm so proud of these guys. So let's talk about the hard way. All right. Watching tons or hours of YouTube content. Okay, I've been there. You feel like you're learning, but it's always giving you little tiny pieces of the puzzle and you can't quite connect them all together. Okay, it's the hard way. Investing, tens of thousands into coaching and mentorship courses. Okay, it's the hard way. It's going to take you a lot of money. It's going to take you a lot of time. Keeping difficult clients happy. If you are spending so much of your time and energy trying to keep the difficult ones happy, you're going to upset other people. These clients end up leaving anyway, right? So you working only with those, you selling your soul to the devil. It's not good for you. What I learned the hard way was that there was no decent web design business or sales courses out there at the time. And it's difficult to attempt to stand out in a very, very competitive space. Over the past few years, web design has got very, very competitive, and online businesses. It's difficult to learn effective marketing and sales skills. And obviously managing financial risks is also tricky. So I've broke this out. There are 3 secrets to making 10K, at least 10K a month as a web designer. Okay, we've got 1, alchemist appointments, 2, sales serenity, and 3, web wizardry. So secret number 1, all right, automated lead generation and call booking systems. Now, you can actually automate reaching out to your ideal clients without having to pick up the phone, and you can eventually have people find you so you can book more qualified meetings. So there's actually 2 approaches to this. There's the outbound, so finding your ideal customer and knowing exactly what to say to them. And then you have the inbound, making people discover you right when they need you. Now, I thought that because people only wanted to work with large established agencies, that I would be left struggling for, the peanuts. And so if I wanted to get clients, I would have to start picking up the phone or doing things like attending networking events. And as an introvert, honestly, it sucked. I didn't pick up the phone. And when I went to networking, I stood in the corner. All right. I would avoid speaking to people, or I would just rush over to somebody that I I knew, or I would try and get someone to come along with me, which is great for getting there, but it didn't help me while I was there. But I did discover that there are other online methods to generate leads. I've discovered how to best use Google or using something like an untapped lead list to find your ideal clients that need you, and how we can use personalized pre-recorded video to reach out via email. So I didn't have to worry about messing up saying what I wanted to say in a live setting. I didn't have to stumble over my words on the phone or even pick up the phone. And so I was actually able to get people to want to speak to me. And even better, I was able to automate this process. So I could focus on, doing what I enjoyed, which was the web design work. I didn't want to be spending all day, every day, trying to find customers and then not doing the work. I enjoy the work. And so did all of these other people. Okay, just a couple of examples here. We've got one of the students hitting $5.5K in sales for an e-commerce website. We've got someone that's hit an 8K profit this month. One of them finally had a 10K month, which was in last December. We've got Zach down here that's closed a new 3K website and an SEO package. And we've got Courtney here who's signed up a new real estate client and just got their third client for 1,500. So, all different, all of them very different points in their journey, but all making decent money and crushing it within their businesses. So again, just to recap who this works for: complete beginners, someone who's struggling with no meetings, people that are rubbish or cannot sell water in a desert, they're not a salesman, and again, the designer. And so I want to make it clear that it is possible that you can book sales conversations on autopilot, so you can focus on what you want to be doing, which I imagine is the design work. That's we're through and through, we're web designers. We are naturally introverted. And so we want to be working on producing things that, get our creative juices flowing. Now, secret 2, easily sell without any sales skills. This is super important. So how to position yourself like a doctor so your ideal clients always choose your business to help solve the pain that they are facing. Just like a doctor. People or business owners, they don't often care about websites. They care about how you're going to help them. And this concept of being a problem solver and positioning myself as a doctor, this was when the switch flipped for me. Okay, I didn't have to be good at sales. I just had to be good and caring as a person and want to help the business owner that I was speaking to. When I started, I generally didn't believe that I'd be able to sell. I didn't know what to say. I couldn't wait to get off the phone because I felt uncomfortable. And, I had no idea how to best promote myself. That all changed once I had that change in mindset. And you can see here there's a desk that this was our old house where I was working in the kitchen. This is where it all started. But now I'm in my home office, which is fantastic. Dedicated room in my house. It's all done up nicely, and I really enjoy being here. Now, how have we been forced to struggle selling for the past 8 years? Well, you've probably had to spend hours crawling through rubbish jobs on Upwork. Okay, they're shit. I started here. I started on Upwork, and there was never any decent projects on there. Okay, and it's super competitive, which is just, you don't want to be competing and pricing yourself to the bottom, crawling through shit jobs on Upwork. Also, and I've done this myself, selling our soul on Fiverr. Getting abused if you make a small mistake, maybe getting crap feedback, and just kind of feeling like you've got your hands tied and you've got no choice but to be a bitch and do as what your customer is saying just so you can continue to serve people on Fiverr without getting a negative review. It's scandalous. Or, as I've said already, attending networking events and just spending all day or hours cold calling. Also struggling through spending all your time trying to find a good lead to contact, or emailing, praying for a response and not getting any, getting ghosted, repeating all of that for eternity. It's just, it's horrible. So there is a new way. It is the Agency Alchemist program. Right, and that's what I'm here to talk to you about. This is everything that I've wrapped up and that I've learned over the past 4 years, and it's in one single community. So the last 27 days alone, okay, there's examples of people that have been absolutely crushing it. And I mean, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but you can see there's loads of positive results here. You know, earning 3.7k, 1,500, 4,250. Charlie getting nearly $2,000, and it's the biggest yet. Signing 2 clients, 5.2k, earning 2k. Okay, they're all decent numbers for a project for a beginner. Okay, these were all beginners at one point. Okay, they're doing very well now, but still earning great money. So let me shout out some of your negative beliefs, all right? Some of the beliefs that you perhaps have around sales. All right, now someone has to win, someone has to lose. That's not the case. Like, you can both win. All right, that's what you want to. It's a win-win. All right, you want them to feel like they're winning. You want to be winning and being rewarded for your work. Next, it's you're interrupting them. You're actually not. Okay, you have this solution to their problem. Remember the doctor analogy. You are helping them solve their problem. They are in pain. So you're not interrupting them. It would be wrong for you to not share this solution with them. And I once said, in terms of an analogy, if you were given a magic potion that would heal any pain, it would cure any disease, and you met someone and you just got into a conversation and they said, I'm having a bad day. Doctor says I'm dying. I've got like 5 days to live. You're like, oh, damn. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. But then you remember that you have this potion. Would you not give it to them? I bet you would. Okay, so remember that analogy, because again, that reminds me that what you have to offer is too good to not offer it to someone. Next, another negative belief is someone is working on a website already. Yeah, maybe they are, but maybe they're not happy with that. Okay, it happens. The amount of times I've actually been approached recently because they're not happy with their existing provider. Just because they have a website doesn't mean it's working for them in the way that they need it to be working. Remember, a website is a tool. It is a marketing tool to help a business get better, to acquire more customers, to achieve whatever goal that they have in place at the moment. And then finally, we've got, they don't need me. This is just, I don't want you to believe this. Why would they not need you? Maybe sometimes, businesses don't need you because everything's going well for them. But if they are an ideal customer that is suffering with a problem that you're able to solve, they 100% need you. And finally, you can sell. You can sell without being Jordan Belfort. Okay, Jordan Belfort in The Wolf of Wall Street. I'm sure you've seen this. But you can actually sell without being this guy, without having years of sales experience. Now, secret number 3 is an easy web process that clients pay thousands for, right? And how to properly fulfill a web design project end to end that customers are happy to pay well over, £5,000 for, and they'll be so happy that they refer you to their friends. Okay, you want to be delivering such a good service that you get referrals. You don't want to be doing this cold outreach forever. All right, you want to be able to start, get a couple of customers, and let things compound, because everything else is just working as an engine as it should be. Luckily, when I got started in business, I had experience with building websites because I'd done this for 8 years through various different jobs. But actually, I didn't understand the end-to-end delivery progress or process. Like, how do you even onboard a client? How do you get all the way from the point in which a website starts to it being completed and handed off? And after servicing well over 100 businesses and working with other, multi-million pound agencies, I've nailed my delivery process. This is a small part of the whole machine, and it makes me, nearly £500 a day. That's 10 to 20k a month. I'm working 4 hours, taking random days off on a whim, and being able to live the life that I've always wanted. Chances are you're already a good designer and you're doing almost everything that you need to be, but you're just missing a couple of pieces to nail that process and missing the confidence to charge what you want because of this. Now, once you have this, you'll have all of your clients being super happy, you'll be able to onboard them, and you'll have more money coming into your business. I have happy clients. I have an easy and repeatable process. Onboarding a customer takes me 15 minutes. It takes them 15 minutes. And also, this process, multi-million pound agencies use this process as well. And I get referrals because it's so simple. Now, I already have modeled what works. Okay, we've got automated lead generation and a call booking system. I have an easy to sell without selling framework. and I have an easy web process that clients pay thousands for. Now let me ask you a question. How many of you feel like this little girl in this picture right now? Because I know I used to. So I know I talk a lot about this information. It can be quite overwhelming, but I've put together a special package. It's called the Agency Alchemist, and it's a way for you guys to implement this stuff within your business anywhere from like 3 to 6 months, okay, depending on how fast you can get it implemented. And I just want to ask your permission today, please. Is it alright if I just take a minute with you to share with you what is inside this Agency Alchemist program? Yeah? You happy? Alright. So Agency Alchemist. Okay, so what you're going to get, first of all, you're going to get Web Biz Foundations. And this is valued at well over £1,500. And this is going to give you all the foundations that you need to start your business, your offering, mindset, everything that's going to set you on the right path. It's going to give you expectations. It's going to give you a plan. It's going to give you a guide of what to follow over the next 12 months. All right, so this quote, I don't like disturbing people just to sell my services. Now, a good handful of guys that join wanting my mentorship, they enter with, honestly, a destroyed level of self-confidence. Like whether it's because of a previous disaster in projects, whether it's designing projects, or whether the client was furious with your work, or whether it's something like way more deep-rooted, whether they've gone on more than 300 cold calls and being told to fuck off. Before you can even earn, before you can even start moving forward and earning the type of money that you want to be earning, you need to believe in yourself and you need to believe in the service that you're offering. So the Web Biz Foundations, it's giving you the essential tools to reshape your self-confidence, to get help setting an attainable 12-month plan, and how to ditch that employee mindset. Okay, a lot of you may come from an employee background. This is very different, and it's difficult to shift that idea that you're actually not employed anymore. You're your own boss. You have that level of freedom, and so I'm going to teach you how to ditch that mindset. Next, we've got the 6-figure Launchpad. Okay. Now, another quote, my niche is too saturated. How many of you guys think this? How many of you think this? Because I know I once did. Now, I know you want to jump into a niche, okay, but you probably worry that you won't land any clients. Like, I did face the same issues when I got started. Like, I had legit web design experience on my resume, but still no one wanted to work with me. But over the years of owning and growing my design agency and hiring a team of contractors, like, I'm sure of this. Okay, your niche is not too saturated. There's no such thing as a saturated niche. Okay, the more saturated the niche, the more opportunity there is for you to stand out. All right, so don't think that way. The 6-figure Launchpad, like, it's going to help you craft offers business owners would feel dumb saying no to. Okay, you're going to be able to find niches that are ready for the taking and how to get prospects to come to you. Right, there's so much information. This is probably one of the biggest modules within the entire program. There's 4 parts to it, and it's going to give you everything that you need to go and find and win clients. So another couple of examples of a few people currently crushing it within the academy, like Zach has been selling some web design. He lacked the confidence to charge more, but he's now one of our frequent features within the community wins. Nawid had no idea about running a business, and now he's got a strong positive mindset and he can get himself regular SEO meetings. And Amanda also knows how to reach her ideal client to book regular sales meetings too. So this works for beginners. It works for people that are currently not getting meetings. It works for people that do not know how to sell, and it works for people that are not the best designers in the world. All right, you don't have to be the best designer to make this work. That's that. You're going to get the Web Biz Foundations, you're going to get the 6-figure Launchpad, and currently this is valued at £3,751, so already so much value. So what else do you need? Well, selling would be nice, right? So you're going to get the Easy Sales Mastery, right? And there's the 3 giveaways that I mentioned at the beginning. We're going to be going through those next. So I started sweating bullets before the dial tone even started. This was me. Right, let me share with you a little secret. And I mean, to be honest, it's not really any secret because I've mentioned it several times. I hated sales. I hated it. It was horrible. I would lose sleep the night before if I know I had a sales call in the morning, or if I knew that I had to pick up the phone to try and dial some numbers to try and desperately pick up work. it was horrible. It was a horrible situation to be in, and I hated it, and I hated sales. But now is a really good opportunity to talk about these giveaways, because first of all, it's the Irresistible Loom Structure Checklist, and by following this, your looms are going to be way better than anyone else sending looms. Make sure that you follow this checklist if you are going to be sending looms out. First of all, keep looms to around 2 to 4 minutes long. Business owners do not have time. They do not want to sit there through a 5, 10, 15-minute video, especially if they don't know you. Keep them short, introduce yourself and why you're reaching out to them. This is a great time for you to share with them the offer and the value that you're going to be giving them in their video to help hook them in. Compliment them with what they've done so far. This helps stroke their ego, especially if it's around their business and their website. Maybe they've built the website themselves and they're quite emotionally attached to it, or maybe a family member has built it for them. So don't go in and insult them. You want to compliment on what they've done so far, but still you're reaching out and you're offering that hand of extra help. Highlight something that you feel that could be improved that you're able to bring to the table. Once you've highlighted that's something that could be improved, you can give them an option to obviously fix it themselves, or if they are interested in having you fix it for them, to get in touch, and then you give them a call to action. Okay, I found that this structure has been absolutely killer with all of my loom videos from day one. This has been something I've refined over a long period of time, and this is working very, very well for me, and it's also working very, very well for everybody currently who's inside the academy. So the second giveaway, right, and there's 3 parts to this, so stick with me. This is the Sales Without Selling framework. So if you're not a salesman, you're going to absolutely love this. And there's a few things to preface here, a few things to remember. Right, on your first call, you are not selling anything to anybody. And this will help you because you don't want to feel like your first interaction with them, you have to go in with a hard sell. You're not doing that. Remember, your prospect is in pain and you're here to help diagnose that pain. You want to listen to your customer more than you speak. So if you don't like speaking, this is magic, all right? Think of the 80-20 rule. You want to be doing 20% of the speaking, 80% of the listening, and have confidence and conviction in your offering. Okay, you need to have that before you go into the call, because that's going to come across in your tonality. The more confident you can sound, then there will be no reason why the person on the other end of the phone would have any reason to doubt you. This is what we call a discovery call. So Sales Without Selling comes in 2 parts. We've got the discovery call, and we also have the more sales based, but I call it a demo call. I actually don't use the word sales within really my sales program, because the sales always scared me, and so I had to use terminology that was less scary and made me feel like I wasn't selling. So this is why this is called Sales Without Selling. A couple of preparations before you go into that initial call day. Okay, have a clear background, have a good background. Don't have it a mess. Relax. Focus on wanting to help the business and not on the sale. Okay, let go of any pressures. Don't worry if you don't land it. It doesn't matter. Have a script in front of you. Okay, and I'm going to share with you a little insight into the script in a second. And also know their name, because you want to make sure that it's super personal, it's a conversation, and it's just really polite to know the business owner's name. A couple of don'ts. Don't beat around the bush. Don't waffle. It's not necessary. Don't be inauthentic or false. Just be yourself. That's going to make you, be unique, and people are going to resonate with that. Don't be overly nice or cringy. It's a huge no-no. It's a huge turn-off. And don't be confrontational or aggressive. And I'm not saying that you will be, but don't feel like you have to be. That's kind of some of the characteristics of a bad, old school salesman that people just don't even give the time of day anymore. Remember the doctor analogy. Be professional, remain calm, be the expert in the conversation. And what I mean by this is, if you have any idea about web design, which you do, that's why you're here, you are the expert in that conversation. Be curious. You want to be asking loads of questions. So here we have the first part of the Sales Without Selling framework. So this is just a little insight into the first discovery call. And I'm showing you this because, one, it's going to be useful to you. And I want you to see how easy and non-scary this is. Right? It's the discovery phase. We are just there to understand their current situation. So within the first minute of the conversation, break the ice, quick little rapport building. So you just say, hello name, how are you? Allow them to answer. Ask them what their weekend was like. Did they manage to do anything nice? Ask them where they're based if you're not sure. Ask them how long they've lived there, just showing interest. If it's somewhere that you want to visit, tell them that, ask them if they recommend it. If it's someone you visited, tell them that and share with them what they did. You might find some common ground there. It doesn't really need to be that difficult, and just keep it short. Just keep it to a minute. I mean, you can go straight in if you want to, but I do feel like rapport building, especially if you're nervous, is going to be really helpful for you. Then we move into what I call the pre-frame. This is just pre-framing how this conversation is going to go, and it's so simple. Listen, you just say, okay, Naeem, I know you're busy, so let's just jump straight into it. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions so I can get an idea of where you're at, and if it's something that we can help you with? Right, and you would have your script in front of you, so you could read this off if you haven't practiced it all that much yet. And that was a little insight into the first discovery question. And actually within this whole Sales Without Selling framework, there's multiple questions that you ask that fit within that 20% of the amount of speaking that you need to be doing. And the rest of the 80% is your client asking or answering those questions. And so the easiest way to get them to open up, to get them to start talking about what their problems are, is to just ask them, cool, so what has motivated you to take the time to meet today? That's it. It's such an easy question to ask, and then bam, you can get them talking, so you can turn into doctor mode, start writing things down, and start getting a better feel for what challenges they're facing and how you can go about helping them with it. So hopefully you can see how easy that is. So you can take this and start using it within your business from today. Now, if you follow my irresistible Loom structure and the Sales Without Selling framework, you will get clients. You will get clients. It's worked for me, and it's worked for many other students. We've got a couple of really positive reviews here from Zach, Gary, Jonathan, who's selling, Jonathan landing a massive new customer that would like 2 new websites, which is great, and they want ads to go with it. We've got Zach here telling me that I'm not the standard guru, okay, and that's what makes me so great. Now, I'm calm. He discovered me through YouTube. The lessons are clear, they're detailed, and ultimately it's a community that's super, super beneficial. And then we've got Gary, okay, outstanding, and so are the learning materials in there. And so I actually had a one-to-one with Gary. My biggest goal is to be able to help as many people as I possibly can. And Gary was someone that came in that was struggling, and we sat down and we had a one-to-one so I could map out a plan for him. And he was the one that went and implemented it. He just needed to be pushed in the right direction. So the easy sales mastery, okay, it's selling without selling. So you're going to learn how to perfectly handle any objections. You're going to have access to recorded live calls of me and how I've closed my clients from my agency. You're going to have access to that. So you can actually see it in action. It's not just a case of, here's the resources, off you go. You're actually going to see how it's done in the real world. And you're going to also get my exact proposal document that I still use within my agency. Right? And there's so much more in there. It's just a little summary of what you're getting within that. So on top of the Biz Foundations, on top of the 6-figure Launchpad, you're going to get Easy Sales Mastery. And so this is already at a whopping £5,500 worth of value. So what else do you need? Well, what about after you've closed the deal? You're going to get what I've called Onboarding Oblivion. And now Onboarding Oblivion, okay, is going to allow you to handle non-tech savvy clients. Okay, remember, these are not technical, and a lot of people forget this. And it's something I've certainly had to learn over time, is there's a certain way that you need to speak to customers because they are non-tech savvy. So how can you simplify the process of getting all the information that you need without roadblocks and causing delays and things like that? You're going to learn why gathering pre-design inspiration can make or break your design project. And you're going to be setting up automatic recurring revenue with your clients. So lots of really useful stuff there. So on top of that, you're going to get the Onboarding Oblivion. And now we're up at a whopping £6,500 worth of value. And then what else do you need? Well, you've got Web Maintenance Mastery, and there's so many elements to this. So you're going to learn how to build reliable and consistent monthly revenue in terms of income into your business. You're going to learn best practices for website updates, backup, security. You're going to learn how to sell a plan to new and existing customers. You're going to learn what to include in your plan, how to offer it, and how to price it, and how to retain current clients to limit the amount of churn. Okay, it's all good signing up clients, but you need to be able to keep them. And so there's loads of information in this which you're going to find useful. So on top of that, we are now at a whopping £7,770 in value within this academy, within this community, within this program. Now, if all this did was finally allow you to book a web design appointment without having to cold call, do you think it would be worth it? If it helped you close just 5 more sales by becoming a better communicator, would it be worth it? If it gave you the ability to cancel all of the monthly tools that you're using to glue together your service delivery, would that be worth it? Now, I had 2 choices. First option was go as cheap as possible and try and sell to as many as possible. Okay, but it wouldn't incentivize me to really add value, and I really want to help you guys. The second option, it requires a little higher investment, but in exchange, I can devote more of my time, my resources to guarantee your success. Now, what is one client worth to you? Okay, what one successful client project, what is that worth to you? One video testimonial which opens the floodgate of referrals. Is it worth 5k a month? Is it worth 10k a month? Like, how much would you pay to get a 6-figure web design company? Okay, it's a bold question. Now, the true cost. Okay, we've got the true cost of staying in your current position, financial strain. Like, I struggled to find clients for quite some time, and especially trying to find clients who was happy to pay what I was worth. And I was barely able to make ends meet. And without the right strategies, I missed out on projects. I stayed stuck with the same financial rut for longer than I needed to. The emotional toll, like, I consistently worried about where my next client would come from, how I'd pay bills, how I'd meet my family needs. I started getting anxiety, struggling to sleep, and the rejections and failures it led to a crippling lack of self-belief, right? And I was suffering in silence. The physical exhaustion. Now, I struggled to properly manage multiple low-paying projects. And I was struggling to make a good living. I was dealing with burnout, working more hours. I wasn't eating properly, and I was missing that really important family time, which I love. And there was a professional stagnation as well. Right? Without the mentorship and the proven frameworks that I eventually got and I built, my business remained stagnant for some time, and it didn't have to be that way. It can be lonely working on your business too. And I didn't always have the community that I could turn to. I didn't have people that really understood my current position. Sure, I had my partner, and I had a few friends, but they didn't really understand what I was going through. They weren't business owners, they weren't web designers. And so, yeah, there was a struggle there. And finally, missed dreams. Like, low-paying freelance work restricted my freedom to live the life that I want to be living on my own terms. Working in 9 to 5 restricts that as well, both time and financially. Like, I wanted to be freelance for the freedom, and at the time, I'd never felt more stuck. Now, hopefully you can see why it's a good deal at even £7,770. Right? But of course, I can't charge you that. Like, that's crazy. Now, I'm pricing this at $4,499 for the general public. But because you're here watching this webinar today, I do have a huge, fantastic special offer for you. And that is that you can get started today for just £499. All right. To get started, just go to the link agencyalchemist.com/academy, and I'll pop this in an email for you as well. Now, on top of that, on top of everything that we've spoken about already, you're going to get access to the SEO mini course. So if you want to learn how to sell SEO and how to service SEO, you will be able to. You're going to get access to SEO selling secrets. You're going to get access to my own vault of live sales calls. You're going to get access to an agency dashboard, and you're going to get access to a ton of templates, standard operating procedures, and everything that you need to really make your business easy. It needs to be easy. So you're going to get access to all of that too. Now, you have 2 choices. First option, you can do nothing. Don't take this, don't take this leap of faith, which, I get it, it's 100% risk-free. You're just, nothing will change, no risk. Second option, just, pony up this small investment today compared to the amount of value that you'll get in return. Okay, there really is no comparison because you're getting so much more value than for the price. Now, if I can't make you money, then obviously I don't deserve yours. So there is a guarantee. If you sign up today, if you've completed less than 20%, you've attended at least 4 of the mentoring sessions, which happens weekly, and still don't like it for any reason, like I don't care if it's 29 days, 23 hours and 59 minutes from now. All right, just let me know and we'll give you your money back. Okay, I want to make the entry for you as risk-free as possible. So if you don't like it, you get your money back. Now the real question is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check this out? Which, if it does even half of what I've claimed today that it will do on this training, like, it will pay for itself. It will pay for itself as soon as you sign your next web design client. Now remember, this is what you're going to get. Web Biz Foundations. You're going to get 6-figure Launchpad, Easy Sales Mastery, Onboarding Oblivion, and Web Maintenance Mastery, which has a total value of £7,770. And for the first 50 people that sign up, okay, I'm offering you a one-on-one mentorship call from myself, who is a 6-figure web designer who has been in your position and has done what you're trying to do. You're going to have exclusive access to a live vault of mentoring calls that I've had and completed already with other people, so you can understand their positions and their problems and you can learn from them. And you're also going to get access to reserve training from other web design professionals. So what we're building in this community is not just my knowledge and training, but also I'm getting insight from other people that are good at other areas that are going to benefit you, that are way better at it than I am. Okay, and you can't get this anywhere else. And I want to give this to you today for $499. $499 is a fantastic price, and because you're here, you've stuck with me right until the end. And first of all, thank you. Honestly, I appreciate you so much. For $499, you can have access to the Agency Alchemist community, and you're going to get everything, all of the bonuses, and you're getting so much value for a very, very low price. So if you want to get started, there is a link below, agencyalchemist.com/academy, but you will receive this in an email as well. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I really hope that you found this valuable. At the very least, I want you to believe in yourself. Okay, you can do this. And if you want that additional support, if you want me to lead you through it, if you want me to guide you, I can do. If you want to fast track your success, if you no longer want to stay stagnant, if you no longer want to struggle, I can help you today, and it's only going to cost you $499. So I will hopefully see you on the other side, and I can't wait to welcome you inside the community. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.